Nathan Sterling sat at the dimly lit bar of an elite club, surrounded by luxury, crystal chandeliers, velvet seating, and the quiet hum of high society conversations. Yet, despite the extravagant surroundings, he felt a deep emptiness. At 27, he had wealth beyond measure, but every romantic relationship he had ended the same way. Women drawn to his fortune, not to the man he truly was. "I'm so tired of this, Liam," Nathan sighed, swirling the whiskey in his glass. His childhood best friend, Liam Carter, sat beside him, deep in thought. "You know," Liam mused, "if you really want to find someone who loves you for you, why not go undercover? Work at one of your own hotels, just as a regular employee. No one would suspect you." Nathan raised an eyebrow. "And what exactly would I do? Pretend to be some low-level staff member at my own hotel?" "Exactly," Liam said with a smirk. "No one would ever expect to see a billionaire serving guests at the front desk. You'd get to meet real people, away from your name and wealth." At first, the idea seemed absurd. But that night, lying in his massive penthouse, Nathan couldn't shake it from his mind. Hours passed as he considered it, and by dawn he had made up his mind. He was going to do it. The next morning, Nathan stepped into his mother's office. Evelyn Sterling, a powerful and formidable woman, ran the Sterling Hotel Group with precision and discipline. When he explained his plan, her reaction was immediate. Shock, then concern. "Nathan, have you lost your mind?" Evelyn asked, her sharp eyes narrowing. "You've never worked a day in your life. How do you plan to pull this off?" Nathan took a deep breath, his resolve firm. "Mom, I'm tired of being seen as nothing more than your wealthy son. I need to know if someone can love me for who I am, not for my last name. I have to do this." Evelyn sighed, rubbing her temple. "You're an adult now, and I can't stop you. But remember, every choice has consequences. Be prepared for them." Determined, Nathan chose a small coastal town far from the city where he was known. If he tried this at any hotel in Sterling Bay, people would immediately recognize him as the heir to the Sterling Empire. He rented a modest apartment, nothing like the opulence he was used to. Yet as he settled in, he felt surprisingly at ease. The simplicity was freeing. Tomorrow, he would begin his new life, working as an ordinary hotel receptionist. He wasn't seeking wealth or status. He was searching for something money could never buy: true love. Nathan woke up early, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and nerves. He put on the simple uniform of a receptionist and stared at himself in the mirror. For the first time, he looked like someone completely different. Not a billionaire, but an average worker. When he arrived at the Seabreeze Hotel, he was greeted by the manager, Olivia Hart. A woman in her early 30s, Olivia had a warm yet professional presence. Her friendly smile made him feel instantly welcomed. "Welcome to the team, Nathan," Olivia said, shaking his hand. "Let me show you around and introduce you to everyone." As they walked through the hallways, Nathan took in every detail. Though the hotel was part of his family's empire, he had never set foot in this particular location before. Olivia patiently explained the daily operations, answering all his questions. "This is the reception," she said as they reached the front desk. "It's the heart of the hotel. You'll meet all kinds of guests here. Things can get hectic, but it's rewarding." Nathan nodded, feeling a surge of excitement. "I'm looking forward to it," he said sincerely. During his first day, he met many colleagues, but one stood out: Henry Dawson, the maintenance manager. A wise and kind-hearted man in his late 50s, Henry had a calm presence that made people feel at ease. "Welcome, young man," Henry said, shaking Nathan's hand firmly. "If you ever need advice, or just someone to talk to, you know where to find me." Over the next few days, Nathan quickly adapted to his new role. He handled check-ins, assisted guests, and resolved small crises. Through these interactions, something began to shift inside him. The experience was humbling, forcing him to engage with people in a way he never had before. His bond with Henry also grew. During their breaks, they sat in the small hotel garden, sharing stories. Henry, with his years of wisdom, became a mentor to Nathan. "You know, life has a way of surprising us," Henry said one evening, sipping his tea. "Sometimes you find something, or someone, that changes everything." Nathan pondered those words. He felt as if a new chapter in his life was unfolding, one where money had no power. And as the days passed, his connection with Olivia deepened. He admired the way she led her team, with kindness, patience, and unwavering dedication. For the first time in his life, Nathan felt he was exactly where he was meant to be. As Nathan wrapped up another day at Seabreeze Hotel, he felt an unfamiliar yet welcome sense of fulfillment. Unlike the superficial pleasures money could buy, this experience gave him something real, a sense of purpose. He knew he still had much to learn, but for the first time in years, he felt hopeful about the future. Days turned into weeks, and Nathan became increasingly comfortable in his role. He dedicated himself to reception work, handling guest concerns and solving problems with the same sharp mind he had once used in business meetings. Only now, it felt more personal. The work, though demanding, was rewarding in a way he had never imagined. During this time, his bond with Olivia Hart deepened. At first, their interactions were limited to professional exchanges, quick conversations in hallways or during team briefings. But soon, they found themselves lingering in each other's company, sharing laughter over coffee breaks and discussing everything from daily hotel mishaps to their biggest dreams. "You know," Olivia mused one afternoon as they sat in the hotel cafe, "I've always wanted to travel the world." Nathan's eyes lit up. "Really? Me too," he admitted, "but not as some high-profile businessman. I want to explore places as just another traveler. No private jets, no five-star hotels, just freedom." Olivia laughed, her warm brown eyes shining. "That sounds perfect. No expectations, no rigid schedules, just enjoying the experience for what it is." Nathan found himself captivated by her. It wasn't just admiration for her competence and kindness. Something deeper was stirring within him. Every time she was near, his heart beat a little faster. He caught himself watching her more often, drawn to the way she spoke with passion, how she led the team with grace and warmth. Olivia, too, had noticed something different about Nathan. Unlike other men she had met, there was an undeniable sincerity in him. He didn't try to impress her with arrogance or charm. There was a quiet humility about him that she found refreshing. But neither of them dared to voice their feelings. There was too much at stake. One evening, as Nathan sat with Henry Dawson in the garden, the older man studied him with a knowing smile. "You seem different," Henry observed, sipping his tea. "There's a light in your eyes I haven't seen before." Nathan chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. "I think you might be right. He hesitated, then sighed. "I think I'm starting to feel something for Olivia." Henry nodded, unsurprised. "Love isn't something you rush, son. Let it happen naturally. If it's real, it will find its way." Nathan took Henry's words to heart. He didn't want to force anything. He wanted whatever was growing between them to be genuine. One evening, after a particularly exhausting shift, Olivia and Nathan found themselves walking along the beach near the hotel. The rhythmic crashing of the waves and the salty breeze created a peaceful backdrop for conversation. "I'm really glad you decided to work here," Olivia said, her voice soft as she gazed at the horizon. "You've brought a new energy to this place. I think everyone feels it." Nathan turned to her, a slow smile spreading across his lips. "I'm glad to be here. This place, these people. It's been an incredible experience." They walked in silence for a while, lost in thought. For Nathan, this moment was special in a way he couldn't fully describe. He felt connected to Olivia, truly connected, in a way he had never experienced before. The days that followed only strengthened their growing bond. Olivia began to sense that there was more to Nathan than met the eye. He was unlike any other new employee she had trained. His intelligence, his adaptability, his way of handling problems with such ease, it was almost as if he had been born into this world. Nathan couldn't ignore his feelings any longer. He had to take a chance. One bright morning, he found Olivia in the cafe, sipping her usual coffee before starting her shift. With a confident but slightly nervous smile, he approached. "Are you free tonight?" he asked, keeping his voice casual. Olivia looked up, surprised. "Yes, I am. Why?" "I was thinking we could catch a movie and have dinner afterward," he said, forcing himself to sound relaxed. But inside, his heart was pounding. A warm smile spread across Olivia's face. "I'd love that. Is 8 okay?" "Perfect," Nathan replied, exhaling in relief. The day passed in a blur. As the evening approached, he dressed in a simple but well-fitted outfit. Nothing too extravagant, just enough to look nice. When he arrived at the hotel to pick Olivia up, his breath caught in his throat. She looked stunning in a simple yet elegant dress, her natural beauty shining effortlessly. "You look incredible," Nathan said, genuinely mesmerized. "Thank you, Nathan. You look great too," Olivia replied, her cheeks warming slightly. They took a taxi to a small cinema in the city, where they watched a romantic comedy that had them laughing the entire time. Nathan, who had never been one for these kinds of movies, found himself genuinely enjoying it, mostly because he was with her. Afterward, they went to a cozy restaurant nearby. The intimate setting, soft lighting, and gentle background music created the perfect atmosphere for a deeper conversation. "I've always wanted to open my own place," Olivia admitted as she stirred her coffee. "Maybe a small bookstore cafe, a space where people can feel at home." Nathan listened intently, admiring the passion in her voice. "I can see you doing that," he said, reaching across the table to hold her hand. "You have a way of making people feel welcome, Olivia." She blushed, caught off guard by his words. "That means a lot to me, Nathan. Thank you." As the night grew late, they walked through the quiet city streets instead of heading straight back. They ended up in a charming little square near Olivia's home, where string lights hung from trees, casting a warm glow over the cobblestone paths. "Let's sit for a bit," Olivia suggested, pointing to a wooden bench beneath a towering oak tree. Nathan agreed, sitting beside her, the cool night air wrapping around them as they soaked in the peaceful silence. For the first time in a long time, Nathan felt something he never had before: pure happiness. Nathan and Olivia sat in comfortable silence, the night air cool against their skin as they gazed at the starlit sky. The moment felt almost surreal, peaceful, intimate, and unspokenly significant. "I really enjoyed tonight," Nathan finally said, turning to face Olivia. His voice was soft but filled with sincerity. "You're special to me." Olivia met his gaze, her lips curving into a warm smile. "I enjoyed it too, Nathan. You're special to me as well." There was a quiet understanding between them, something deeper than words could express. Nathan hesitated for only a moment before leaning in slightly. Olivia closed her eyes, her heart racing as she welcomed the tender kiss that sealed the beginning of something new. It was sweet, genuine, and full of emotions neither of them had fully acknowledged until now. When they pulled away, both knew that something had shifted between them. A new chapter had begun, and they were ready to explore it together. As Nathan walked home that night, he couldn't wipe the smile off his face. He thought about Henry's words, that life was full of surprises, and realized that Olivia was the most wonderful surprise of all. The days following their first date were filled with newfound happiness. Their connection deepened effortlessly, turning every moment into something meaningful. Nathan felt emotions he had never experienced before: genuine joy, excitement, and an unshakable sense that Olivia was different. He wanted to know everything about her, not just the way she smiled when she talked about her dreams, but also the life she had lived before they met. One sunny afternoon, as they walked through the same square where they had shared their first kiss, Nathan felt the time was right to take another step forward. "Olivia," he said, gently squeezing her hand, "I'd really love to meet your father. I think it's important that I get to know your family." Olivia hesitated for a moment, taken aback by his request. Her father had always been the most important person in her life, and introducing him to Nathan would mean a great deal. After a brief pause, she smiled. "I think that's a good idea. My dad is a wonderful person. I'm sure you two will get along. How about this Sunday?" Nathan nodded, feeling a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. "Sunday it is." When Sunday arrived, Nathan found himself adjusting his shirt more times than necessary, his nerves creeping in as he prepared to meet Olivia's father. As the taxi neared her house, his heart pounded a little faster with each mile. He took a deep breath and rang the doorbell. The door opened, revealing Olivia in a beautiful floral dress. The sight of her instantly made his nerves settle. "You look beautiful," Nathan said, his voice filled with admiration. "Thank you, Nathan." Olivia replied, her eyes twinkling. "Are you ready to meet my dad?" "As ready as I'll ever be," Nathan said with a nervous chuckle. They stepped inside, and within seconds, Nathan froze in shock. Sitting comfortably on the living room couch, sipping tea with a knowing smile, was Henry Dawson, his colleague from the hotel. Henry looked up, immediately recognizing Nathan. His deep, hearty laugh filled the room. Well, Henry chuckled, setting his cup down. Didn't I tell you life is full of surprises? Nathan stared at him, dumbfounded. How is this possible? Henry leaned back, grinning. When my daughter was looking for her first job, I recommended her to Sterling Hotels. She's been working there ever since. Nathan's mind raced. He had been working alongside Olivia's father all this time without realizing it. Henry smiled knowingly. We don't need to expose our personal lives at work. We stay professional, that's what I always say. Nathan spent the rest of lunch deep in thought. The connection between him, Olivia, and Henry now felt far more profound than he had ever imagined. After lunch, he knew it was time to be honest. He called Henry and Olivia into the living room. There's something I need to tell you, Nathan began, his voice steady but nervous. Henry nodded, his expression unreadable. Go on. Nathan took a deep breath. Henry, you said you knew William Sterling, the owner of Sterling Hotels. Yes, I did, Henry confirmed, watching Nathan closely. Nathan hesitated for only a moment before revealing the truth. William was my father. I am the heir to the Sterling Empire. Olivia's smile faded. She looked at him, her eyes widening in disbelief. You're Nathan Sterling? Nathan felt his chest tighten. He had dreaded this moment, feared the look of hurt and betrayal on Olivia's face. You never told me, Olivia said, stepping back slightly. All this time, you said nothing. Henry, however, started laughing again. He reached for Nathan's ID, glanced at it, and let out another chuckle. Why are you laughing? Nathan asked, confused. Because, Henry said, shaking his head with nostalgia, you look just like your father when he was young. Nathan let out a breath. I've been told that before, he admitted, still processing everything. Despite Henry's amusement, the air in the room was heavy. Olivia remained silent, clearly struggling to take it all in. Moments later, she excused herself and stepped outside into the garden. Nathan knew he couldn't let her leave like this. He followed her, finding her seated on a wooden bench, her expression unreadable. Olivia, please, Nathan said, sitting beside her. I know I should have told you sooner, but I didn't want my name or money to define me. I wanted you to know me, not my fortune. Olivia exhaled slowly, staring at the ground. After a long pause, she finally looked up at him. I understand, Nathan. It must be exhausting, living with so many people only seeing your wealth, but I just need some time to process this. Relief flooded Nathan's chest. I just want to be honest with you from now on, he promised. I never meant to deceive you, Olivia. I just wanted a chance to be myself, to find someone who loves me for who I truly am. A small smile played on Olivia's lips. I believe you, Nathan. We'll get through this together. Just no more secrets, okay? Agreed, Nathan said without hesitation, feeling a huge weight lift off his shoulders. They returned inside, where Henry was waiting with a look of quiet understanding. Nathan realized there was still more to uncover. Turning to Henry, he hesitated before asking, Can you tell me more about your history with my father? Henry nodded, motioning for him to sit. Of course, Nathan. Your father, William, was an extraordinary man. I met him when I started working at the hotel as a young manager. He made a point of knowing every single employee, no matter their position. That's rare in this business. Nathan listened intently, eager to learn more about the man who had built the empire he had once taken for granted. William had a clear vision of how he wanted the hotels to be run, Henry continued. He believed that treating people well, both guests and employees, was the true key to success. He inspired me, and he shaped the way I see this business today. As Nathan absorbed Henry's words, Olivia sat quietly listening. Your father was a great man, Henry said with a proud smile, and from what I've seen, you've inherited more from him than just his name. Nathan swallowed hard, feeling a mix of pride and humility. Thank you, Henry, he said sincerely. That means a lot to me. For the first time in his life, Nathan wasn't just living in his father's shadow, he was finally understanding him. As Nathan listened to Henry's stories about his father, William Sterling, he felt a deeper connection forming between them. Little by little, the pieces of his father's life came together, painting a picture of a man who had built an empire not just through wealth, but through wisdom and kindness. Then, Henry asked something that caught Nathan off guard. And your mother, Evelyn, how is she? Nathan blinked, surprised. You know my mother? Henry nodded, his expression unreadable. Yes, I do. But I'm afraid there are things I can't tell you. It's better if you ask her yourself. There was something cryptic in Henry's tone, something that made Nathan uneasy. But he decided to respect his advice, for now. Later that afternoon, as Nathan and Olivia prepared to leave, there was a renewed sense of hope in the air. The truth had been revealed, and despite the challenges they had faced, they had come through it together. Under the starlit sky, Nathan reached for Olivia's hand, holding it firmly. "Thank you for understanding and standing by me," he said softly. "I truly believe we can overcome anything together." Olivia squeezed his hand, her voice filled with warmth. "I believe so too, Nathan. Let's take things one step at a time." The following days passed as usual, but Nathan couldn't shake the lingering thoughts about his mother. Henry's words had left him restless. One evening, as he and Olivia strolled through the hotel garden, he finally voiced what had been on his mind. "Olivia, I want you to meet my mother." Olivia hesitated for only a moment before nodding. "Of course, Nathan. I think that's a great idea." With mutual understanding, they both knew this meeting would be an important step forward, not just for their relationship, but for Nathan's journey of self-discovery. The day of their trip to the Sterling estate was bright and peaceful, but Olivia couldn't shake a slight nervousness. Nathan noticed and gently squeezed her hand. "Everything will be fine," he reassured her. "My mom is going to love meeting you." "I hope so," Olivia admitted. "I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready." They took a taxi to the airport and boarded a short flight to Silverwood, the city where Nathan had grown up. Throughout the ride, Nathan's mind raced with thoughts of seeing his mother again, not as her son returning home, but as a man with his own story to tell. Upon arriving, they took another taxi through the familiar streets of his childhood. As they neared the Sterling estate, Olivia's eyes widened at the grand sight before her. The mansion was breathtaking, a sprawling estate with elegant gardens, towering columns, and a timeless beauty that spoke of old wealth and prestige. Nathan felt a mix of nostalgia and nervous excitement as he approached the entrance. When the door finally opened, Evelyn Sterling stood there, her poised demeanor softening as she saw her son. "Nathan, my boy," she said warmly, pulling him into a rare embrace. "It's so good to see you." "Mom," Nathan said, feeling a pang of guilt for staying away so long. "I've missed you." Evelyn turned her attention to Olivia, her expression immediately warming. "And you must be Olivia," she said, extending a hand. "Nathan has told me so much about you." Olivia took her hand, feeling both honored and nervous. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Sterling." "Please call me Evelyn," she corrected with a gracious smile. They stepped inside, where a beautifully set table awaited them for lunch. The environment was both elegant and inviting, a reflection of Evelyn herself. During lunch, Evelyn took the time to get to know Olivia, asking about her background and her work at the hotel. Olivia, in turn, was curious about Evelyn's story. "So, how did you and William meet?" Olivia asked. Evelyn smiled, a nostalgic look crossing her face. "We met at the hotel. I was a receptionist, and he, the owner, was always personally overseeing things. We knew who we were from the start, but he never let his position define our relationship." Nathan and Olivia exchanged surprised glances. "It was overwhelming at first," Evelyn continued, realizing the weight of his responsibilities. "But I saw the man behind the empire, and that's how our love grew, through truth and trust." Olivia felt a deep admiration for Evelyn. She saw in her the same strength that Nathan carried, a quiet determination, a deep sincerity. "Thank you for welcoming me so warmly," Olivia said genuinely. "I can see now where Nathan gets his kindness from." Evelyn reached for Olivia's hand with warmth. "Thank you, Olivia. I'm truly happy that Nathan has found someone like you. You have my blessing." Nathan felt a deep relief wash over him. He had never doubted his mother's approval, but hearing her say it filled him with a profound sense of peace. After lunch, Evelyn led them through the mansion's gardens, sharing more stories about William and the Sterling family legacy. Olivia felt herself becoming more and more connected to this world, not because of its wealth, but because of the love and history woven into it. As the afternoon turned into evening, they gathered in the cozy sitting room. Evelyn served them tea and dessert, creating an atmosphere of warmth and familiarity. "You should stay the night," Evelyn suggested. "We have plenty of guest rooms. This way we can talk more, and you won't have to rush back." Nathan looked at Olivia, who smiled and nodded. "We'd love to, Mom. Thank you," Nathan replied. As night fell, they continued talking, sharing laughter and memories. Olivia felt completely at home, and Nathan felt at peace for the first time in a long time. Later that night, as they prepared for bed, Olivia turned to Nathan and whispered, "Your mom is amazing. I'm so happy to be here." Nathan smiled, taking her hand. "Me too. This means a lot to me." The night at the Sterling estate was filled with meaningful conversations, strengthening the bonds between them. For Nathan, it was more than just a visit. It was a moment of reflection, a step toward truly understanding his family and himself. The next morning, after a peaceful breakfast in the garden, Nathan led Olivia through the paths where he had played as a child. The fresh air, the quiet rustling of the trees, it all felt like the perfect moment for something important. As Nathan and Olivia walked hand in hand through the lush gardens of the Sterling estate, the scent of blooming roses filled the air. The afternoon sun cast a golden glow over them, creating the perfect setting for what was in Nathan's heart. "Olivia," Nathan said, gently stopping her. He took her hands in his grip warm and reassuring. She tilted her head, smiling softly. "What is it?" Nathan took a deep breath, emotions rising within him. "My mother and father had a love story built on truth, respect, and trust. And in us, I see the same thing. Since the day I met you, you've brought meaning into my life, Olivia. I don't want a life without you. I want to build something real, something lasting, with you." Olivia's eyes widened, glistening with unshed tears. She barely had time to process his words before Nathan knelt before her, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a small velvet box. Opening it, he revealed a delicate diamond ring, its brilliance reflecting the sunlight. "Olivia Hart," he said, his voice filled with hope and love. "Will you marry me?" For a moment, Olivia covered her mouth, overwhelmed with emotion. But then she smiled through her tears. "Yes, Nathan. Of course I will." Nathan let out a breath of relief, slipping the ring onto her finger before pulling her into a tight embrace. Olivia laughed through her happy tears, wrapping her arms around him. Watching from a distance, Evelyn Sterling wiped away her own tears, her heart full of joy. She walked toward them, her arms open. "I'm so happy for both of you," Evelyn said warmly, embracing them both. With her blessing, Nathan and Olivia wasted no time in planning their wedding. They decided there was no better place than Seabreeze Hotel, the very place where their love story had begun. Preparing for forever. The days leading up to the wedding were filled with excitement. Evelyn took an active role in the preparations, ensuring everything was perfect. Olivia chose a simple yet elegant gown, reflecting her timeless beauty, while Nathan opted for a classic tailored suit. "I want our wedding to be a reflection of who we are," Olivia said one evening as they discussed the details with Evelyn. "Something intimate, full of love." Nathan nodded in agreement. "I couldn't have said it better myself." The invitations were sent out, and soon the hotel was transformed. Soft lights, white roses, and elegant yet understated decorations filled the grand hall, creating an atmosphere of warmth and love. One evening, after a long day of planning, Nathan and Olivia sat together in the estate garden, gazing at the stars. "I can't believe we're getting married at the place where we met," Olivia whispered, resting her head on Nathan's shoulder. "It's the perfect place to start our life together," Nathan murmured, stroking her hair gently. Olivia smiled. "I can't wait to walk down the aisle." "And I can't wait to see you there," Nathan replied, pressing a soft kiss to her forehead. With the support and blessing of their families, they knew their wedding would be the start of something even greater, a life built on love, trust, and respect. When the day finally arrived, emotions ran high. The Seabreeze Hotel was bathed in golden sunlight, casting a warm glow over the beautifully decorated venue. White flowers and soft candlelight filled the hall, creating a dreamy, magical atmosphere. Friends, family, and colleagues gathered, their faces lit with excitement. Evelyn moved gracefully through the crowd, ensuring every last detail was perfect. In the bride's suite, Olivia stood in front of the mirror, her dress flowing elegantly around her. Her closest friends surrounded her, helping with the final touches. The door opened, and Henry entered, dressed in a refined suit. The moment his eyes fell on his daughter, he stopped, his expression full of emotion. "You look beautiful, Olivia," Henry said, his voice thick with pride. "I'm so proud of you." Tears welled in Olivia's eyes as she embraced her father. "Thank you, Dad. I'm so happy you're here with me." Meanwhile, in the groom's suite, Nathan adjusted his tie, taking a deep breath. Beside him stood Liam, his childhood friend and best man. "You ready for this?" Liam asked with a grin. Nathan exhaled slowly before smiling. "I've never been more ready for anything in my life." As the ceremony began, the guests took their seats, soft music playing in the background. The air was thick with anticipation. Henry walked Olivia down the aisle, his steps measured, his face filled with emotion. Nathan's breath caught the moment he saw her. She was radiant, more beautiful than he had ever seen her. When they finally reached the altar, Henry gently placed Olivia's hand in Nathan's. "Take good care of her," Henry said, his voice steady yet emotional. "I promise I will," Nathan replied, his voice filled with conviction. Evelyn, watching from the front row, was overcome with emotion. She couldn't help but remember her own wedding, the love she had shared with William, the memories they had built. This moment felt like continuation of that love, now living on in her son. The ceremony was simple, yet deeply meaningful. Nathan and Olivia exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to love, respect, and cherish each other for the rest of their lives. "With this ring, I make you mine," Nathan said, sliding the band onto Olivia's finger. "With this ring, I make you mine," Olivia echoed, doing the same. The officiant smiled. "By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride." As Nathan and Olivia shared their first kiss as husband and wife, applause and joyful cheers filled the hall. A celebration of love. The reception was filled with laughter, dancing, and unforgettable moments. Evelyn stood to make a toast, raising her glass. "To Nathan and Olivia," she began, her voice filled with warmth. "May your life together be filled with love, understanding, and endless joy. True love is rare, and when you find it, you must cherish it always." Henry, too, took a moment to speak, his voice thick with emotion. "I always dreamed of seeing my daughter happy," he said, glancing at Olivia. "And today my dream has come true. Nathan, take care of her. May you both be blessed with a lifetime of love and happiness." Nathan and Olivia exchanged a loving glance, feeling profoundly grateful for the family that surrounded them. The celebration lasted long into the night, marking the beginning of their new journey together. And so, with the blessing of their loved ones, Nathan and Olivia stepped into the future, ready to face any challenge with love, trust, and unwavering devotion. Their wedding was not just a ceremony, it was the first step in a lifetime of adventure, love, and endless possibilities. Nathan and Olivia's honeymoon took them to a charming countryside estate, nestled between rolling mountains and serene rivers. The house, which had been in the Sterling family for generations, held a quiet magic, a place filled with stories, memories, and secrets waiting to be uncovered. Upon their arrival, the estate's caretaker greeted them warmly, handing them the keys with a knowing smile. "Enjoy your stay," he said. The first few days passed in bliss. They spent their time hiking through forest trails, picnicking by the river, and simply enjoying the peacefulness of being away from the bustling world. One afternoon, as they explored the attic of the old house, Olivia spotted a dust-covered wooden chest tucked into the corner. "What do you think is inside?" she asked, curiosity lighting up her face. "Let's find out," Nathan said, pulling it forward and carefully lifting the lid. Inside, they found a collection of yellowed letters, aged photographs, and old heirlooms, each piece holding a fragment of the past. As they sifted through them, one particular letter caught Olivia's attention. "Nathan, look at this," she said, holding it up. "It's from your father to your mother." Nathan carefully unfolded the fragile paper. The letter was dated decades ago and spoke of the struggles William and Evelyn faced while building the Sterling Hotel empire. The long nights, the sacrifices, and above all, the unwavering love that held them together. Nathan's hands trembled slightly as he read his father's words. "He loved her deeply," Olivia murmured. "Through all the challenges, they never let go of each other." Nathan swallowed hard, feeling a renewed sense of connection to his father, not as a powerful businessman, but as a man who had fought for love and built something meaningful. As they continued to explore, they found more photographs, images of Evelyn and William over the years, wedding photos, travel memories, and moments from the early days of the hotel. "They really went through so much together," Olivia said, touched by the journey she was uncovering. Nathan nodded. It's incredible to see how their love withstood everything. But the biggest revelation was yet to come. Among the letters, they found a series of correspondences between Henry and William. "Wait, my father and Henry were this close?" Nathan asked, stunned. The letters revealed that Henry had been one of William's most trusted advisors, helping him through crucial moments in the hotel's expansion. "This explains so much," Nathan said. "The connection we've always felt with Henry. It's deeper than we knew." Olivia's eyes shone with emotion. "Nathan, this makes everything even more special. Our families have always been connected, bound by trust and respect." As they continued sifting through the letters, Olivia found one addressed to her own father, Henry. It spoke of the financial struggles Henry had faced as a single parent after his wife's passing and how William had secretly helped him during the hardest times. "My father always talked about the difficulties we had," Olivia whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "But I never knew William played such a big role in our lives." Nathan pulled her into a tight embrace, understanding the weight of what they had just uncovered. "Our parents were more than friends," he said. "They were allies, family in every way, except by blood." Their honeymoon transformed into more than just a romantic getaway. It became a journey into their shared history, strengthening their bond even further. As they sat together that evening, watching the sun dip behind the mountains, Nathan took Olivia's hand. "This changes everything," he said softly. "It changes nothing," Olivia countered with a gentle smile. "It just proves what we already knew. We were meant to find each other." Nathan kissed her forehead, feeling more deeply connected to her than ever before. Returning home after their honeymoon, Nathan and Olivia saw life through a new lens. Everything felt richer, more meaningful. Each day was an opportunity to deepen their love and continue the legacy of their families. But soon, Olivia began to feel different. At first, she brushed it off as exhaustion from the trip, but as the days passed, the signs became undeniable. One morning, after taking a deep breath, she decided to take a pregnancy test. Her heart pounded as she waited. And then, 2 pink lines. That evening, as Nathan sat in the living room after a long day of work, Olivia entered, nervous but excited. "Nathan," she said softly, sitting beside him. He immediately sensed something serious in her tone. "What is it, my love?" he asked, concern flickering in his eyes. Taking his hands in hers, Olivia took a deep breath before smiling. "Nathan, I'm pregnant. We're going to have a baby." For a moment, Nathan was speechless, his mind racing as he absorbed the words. Then joy flooded through him. "You're—" His voice caught with emotion before he pulled Olivia into his arms. "This is incredible, Olivia. I'm so happy. We're going to be parents." He kissed her forehead, then her hands, overwhelmed with happiness. The news sent waves of joy through their families as well. Evelyn, upon hearing she was going to be a grandmother, radiated with excitement. "This baby is going to bring so much joy to all of us," she said, hugging Olivia warmly. Henry, too, was overjoyed. "A new beginning for our families," he said, smiling proudly. With the baby on the way, Nathan and Olivia began to carefully plan for their future. "We'll raise our child with love, humility, and the values that truly matter," Nathan said one evening as they sat together. "I couldn't agree more," Olivia said, resting a hand on her growing belly. "We want them to know that hard work, kindness, and respect are more important than money or status." Determined to stay connected to the real world, Nathan decided to continue working at the hotel. "I want our child to see that work is important," he explained. "And that humility is a strength, not a weakness." Olivia smiled, knowing how much this meant to him. "We'll give them the best of us," she promised. As Olivia's pregnancy progressed, their world shifted into a beautiful period of preparation. They transformed one of the rooms in their apartment into a cozy nursery, painting the walls in soft colors and filling it with love. Every small moment, the first flutter of the baby's movements, the doctor visits, the ultrasounds became a celebration of new life. Nathan often placed his hands on Olivia's belly, whispering to their baby. "I can't wait to meet you, little one," he said one night, feeling a tiny kick in response. Tears welled in Olivia's eyes. "They already love you," she whispered. Nathan smiled, kissing her gently, "And I love them already." As the months passed, their excitement and anticipation grew. They knew their lives were about to change in the most beautiful way possible. And through it all, They held on to the unshakable love that had brought them here. Because this wasn't just a new chapter, it was the beginning of a legacy that would carry on for generations. Nathan whispered softly, feeling a tiny kick against his palm. "I can't wait to meet you, little one," he murmured, his heart swelling with love. Every visit to the doctor, every ultrasound, became a cherished moment for Nathan and Olivia. Seeing the tiny life growing inside her only strengthened their connection and anticipation. As the months passed, their bond deepened even further. Their family's love stories, the challenges their parents had faced and the strength they had shown, became a guiding light as they prepared for parenthood. Evelyn and Henry were always present, offering their support and wisdom. "I remember when Nathan was a baby," Evelyn said one evening, making Olivia laugh with stories of his mischievous childhood. "Get ready for sleepless nights," she teased, winking. Henry, on the other hand, took charge of helping Nathan prepare their home. Together, they assembled the baby's crib, decorated the nursery, and made sure everything was perfect. "I'll always be here for you," Henry said, placing a reassuring hand on Nathan's shoulder. "And for my grandchild." Nathan felt a deep gratitude for the love that surrounded them. No matter what challenges lay ahead, he knew they wouldn't face them alone. As the due date approached, each day felt longer than the last. The anticipation filled their home with excitement, nervousness, and endless preparations. And then, early one quiet morning, it happened. Olivia gripped Nathan's hand tightly. "Nathan," she gasped, her breath uneven. "I think it's time." Nathan had been preparing for this moment, but now that it was here, his heart raced with adrenaline. He grabbed the hospital bag and helped Olivia into the car. They rushed to the hospital, where a caring medical team was already waiting for them. The hours that followed were intense, filled with both exhaustion and love. Nathan never left Olivia's side, holding her hand, whispering words of encouragement. "You're doing amazing, Olivia," he said, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I love you so much." Finally, after what felt like forever, the sound of a baby's cry filled the room. Nathan and Olivia looked at the tiny miracle in their arms, their hearts overflowing with joy and gratitude. "He's perfect," Olivia whispered, tears in her eyes. "Yes, he is," Nathan agreed, his voice thick with emotion. "Welcome to the world, William Henry Sterling," Olivia said, her voice full of love. They had chosen the name to honor both their fathers, William, Nathan's father, and Henry, Olivia's. These two men had shaped their lives in countless ways, and naming their son after them was their way of carrying their legacy forward. The news of William Henry's birth spread quickly, filling the hearts of their loved ones with joy. Evelyn and Henry arrived at the hospital as fast as they could, eager to meet their grandson. "He's beautiful," Evelyn said, holding the tiny baby in her arms. "I'm so proud of you both." "He has Nathan's eyes," Henry said with a tearful smile, "and Olivia's strength." The birth of their son only brought their families closer than ever. Everyone played a role in caring for the baby, offering their love and support without hesitation. Henry and Evelyn visited frequently, cherishing every moment they could spend with their grandson. "This little one is the joy of our lives," Evelyn said one day, watching as Nathan rocked William to sleep. "And a true symbol of a new beginning," Henry added. Nathan and Olivia quickly adapted to their new routine. Sleepless nights, early mornings, and constant learning became their new reality. "We're doing this together," Nathan said one night as he gently rocked William in his arms. "And that makes all the difference," Olivia said, smiling sleepily. The months passed in a blur of firsts: William's first smile, his first laugh, his first steps, each milestone celebrated with love and joy. Family gatherings became even more special, filled with laughter, stories, and warm embraces. Nathan and Olivia were determined to raise their son with the same values they had been taught: humility, kindness, and a deep respect for others. They knew their greatest legacy wouldn't be the hotel empire or the wealth they had. It would be the love they built within their family. As they watched their son grow, Nathan and Olivia felt more connected than ever. They had faced challenges, uncovered family secrets, and built a love that was stronger than anything money could buy. And so, with love, unity, and gratitude, they embraced the new chapter that life had given them. Because for them, the best was yet to come.